mock draft for the Pats. We're going to do this PFF. We'll only do 3 rounds. Later this or next weekend, we're gonna on Monday. Stay tuned, subscribe, and so you get in this information. On Monday, I'm going to do a mock draft, and I'll do it on PFSN, and I'll do a full maybe like 6. I'll do like a 5 or 6 round mock draft, so we can kind of see, because I do have a lot more information on guys that are later on in the draft that I think could suit the Patriots really well, that I like. So let's just get into this draft here. Let's start it up, and let's see. See, this is my fear. This is exactly my fear. And this is, honestly, guys, I think this is more likely on what's going to happen. Let's see. Sorry, let's see here. So this is kind of crazy, but I probably already passed him. No. Okay, hold on. Did R. Mason Thomas really drop? Okay, he just dropped to that 47 spot, which I think is real. I think that realistically is likely to happen. He just had a lot of injuries, and like I said about Elijah Vera Tucker, he has those injuries that I kind of fear. I would fear going into the season with a quad injury. He played really well, but so this is the difficult thing. Let's go edge and let's go tackle. I think these are the 2 spots we got to take early. My last mock, I did R. Mason Thomas in 1, and I did Dunker in 2 in the second round, and then I did Bo Stevens in 3. And that was a fun, like, just trenches type thing, and I was excited about it. But let's get real about this team, because what do I think would be the best thing for the Patriots? And I think a guy that can get after the passer is really crucial. And I think a guy that can play right tackle in the future is huge. And it's really hard to get guys. This is the problem with 31, or the good thing and the problem with 31 is you miss out on a lot of the top guys, obviously. Now, is this an area that you're going to get an elite pass rusher? No. I mean, it's possible, but realistically, are you going to get like the guy at this area? I don't believe so. I think Cassius Howell's really good. Yeah, his combine, he was smaller, but I don't think Cassius Howell is like the elite of the elite. He could be. He has like a really good mentality. I like how he plays. Mesidor is a really good player. But this is really tough for the Patriots here, because we could also throw in receiver. Let's just throw in, and tight end. I forgot to say tight end in my thing. I feel like tight end is like right below receiver, honestly. But see, this is difficult. Now, guys, this would be like the toughest decision of all time. And it gets to, I like Skylar Bell. He's very Romeo Dobbs, and we kind of just filled that. So let's go position by position. I know I'm all over the place, but let's just go position by position, what I think here, honestly. Receiver. We need an outside receiver. Okay, Kyle Williams is about that 5'11", 6-foot area. Kayshon Boutte, 5'11", 6-foot area. Mac Hollins is older, 6 foot, whatever. We need a guy that can go up and get the ball. Now, is that going to be this? Is Denzel Boston going to fall? And is he going to be the guy that the Patriots need? 6'4", 209 pounds. He's really good in contested catch areas. I like how he plays. He's a really good player. He didn't perform in the combine like people thought he was going to, but I don't really care about that personally. The other guy I like is Chris Bell, but he's not going to be ready right away, which for the Patriots might be okay, but he is that 6'2", like he is that AJ Brown-esque type guy where he's a bigger body type dude and can get open. Jeremy Bernard. So this is about where I think it separates. These guys I think are in the like that second tier. Number one tier is obviously like Tyson and those guys. I do think these guys are in that second tier where it's kind of pick your poison. What do you need? What do you want? What do you like? I like Denzel Boston a lot. If he falls, man, that's going to be really hard to pass up. That's going to be a very hard pass up because I do like Brazel. It's just like with Jalen Hyatt right now for the Giants, man, I he's kind of who everybody thought he was. Like fast, he could catch the ball, like he can catch the goal ball, this, that, and the other, but really he just isn't panning out for the Giants what they wanted. Bryce Lance, I really like actually. Trey Lance's brother, 6'3", 209. He has that lanky, I guess you could even say now he's not this guy, but he has like that Justin Jefferson type build where he's lanky, like he moves, like he flows. Not as good, obviously not as good, but that's if you want like a visual on what I think his play style is kind of like. Now, do I think that fits the Patriots? It could. You could figure out a way to have that type of guy in the system. He's good at contested catches. He can catch contested catches. The only issue is NDSU. Did he see the best competition? No. He did end up playing last year. He played Colorado and played what's his face? Travis Hunter, and I think he had like no catches in that game. So that's scary. But back-to-back 1,000 yards. I get it was in the FCS, but that's still impressive. 8 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns last year. That's impressive to me. That's impressive. So if you pass up, that's a guy. Malachi Fields is a guy you can get later on, which I like. Brazel is a guy that I do like, but I'm iffy on. Denzel Boston is very intriguing. And this is where what I said, I'm going to try to speed up a little bit, but I'm not going to be like blazing through because this is kind of the fun part, and I think you guys would like this part as well. Wagner, I do like Wagner. I think this PFF, also PFF. Let's remember PFF is not that reliable. 1 sack allowed last year, which is very good, and he played in a run game that was very efficient last year with Notre Dame, and I really like that pick. It's like a late round pick. I feel like 177 is kind of late for a offensive tackle from Notre Dame. I feel like they can always be kind of effective. Caleb Tiernan, he's only left, but maybe could play that swing role. I don't know. I do like his size, 6'7", 325, but is he like the guy? I don't know. Jennings Dunker, I've been seeing stuff where he might be on the smaller side, 6'5", 315, but I guess his arm length might be smaller. I guess that doesn't really matter to the Patriots, obviously, and it doesn't matter to me, and I don't think it should matter to you guys either. Lomu, I'm not a huge fan of. He plays on the left, and I'm not a huge fan of him. Markel Bell. So, like, these guys can play football. Jude Bowery. And it's like, do you want to get a guy in the first round that Ehan Shore? He's a good player. I like Ehan Shore. But he's a project. And you risk a project that early? I don't know. I don't think so. I think, honestly, if Denzel Boston drops, these guys are really good, and Zion Young is my favorite player. But, man, I don't know. Zion Young is my favorite player. I love Zion Young. Look, we're gonna do something a little different than usual. I've never done this in a mock. Denzel Boston dropping, and I know whatever. He's not Jalen Polk. Let's remember that He's not a Dunze. He's a different guy, and he runs different, and he plays really well. And I think he can be very effective. When he was a sophomore, was that a sophomore? No, when he was a freshman, he played behind Rome and Jalen Polk. But that doesn't mean anything. He was a freshman. Those guys went in first and second round. So I think if you get to this point and Denzel Boston is sitting there, I like Cooper. And I know a lot of people might be saying he's so good yet, but he does play that same role. And you have to then think, is that going to be what the Patriots need? We have that role filled in Romeo Doubs / Kyle Williams. Same thing with Casey Concepcion, who I really like. A lot of drops, but I do like his game. He's very Kyle Williams, very Romeo Doubs type player. So I say you go with this Denzel Boston. You go with the size. You go with like that little, even that Puka feel. And you go with Denzel Boston. Bring Denzel Boston to Boston. And I think that would be, for the Patriots, that would be awesome. Now, that kind of throws a wrench in what I said earlier, where I said, hey, the number one thing is tackle and edge. But in the draft, you do not draft for need. Okay, you don't draft because you need this position. We're not filling a spot that is like, we have to get this position. We have to. You're not drafting for that. And of course, if they get AJ Brown, that might look a little different. But we're not projecting AJ Brown's on this team because he's not, and he has to be traded. So we're not doing that. We're not doing Brian Thomas. We're not doing any of those players. We're not doing that. What we're doing is seeing what we have on the team, and we're going after it that way. So this is currently what I think. Markel Bell is freaking intriguing. He's like 6'9". He's ginormous. He plays left, but that would be really fun if he was on this team. I'm just kind of clicking through guys so you can see Brian Parker. He's a decent player, and I think he could be a good player to sit behind and maybe figure it out. But what I say you go with here, not running back. Oops. Game off. And let's just look at tight ends too, just for fun. I like Sam Roush. He has a smaller wingspan, but I do like him. I like his size. I like Marlon Klein. I like Dallin Bentley because he's a bigger body. For me, tight ends, I don't really care for like the super athletic, unbelievable. Because those guys, I mean, they can be good, but I want the tight end to be able to block. Let's just use these guys as reference. I want the Gronkowski, not the Kelsey. I want the guy that can block and also catch and just have 8 guys hanging all over him instead of like the shit. I would rather a guy that is just huge and can get bigger. I like this Kitzelman. I like this guy a lot, actually. He's bigger. He's not the greatest blocker, which is kind of like, but he has like a little bit to him. He has a little edge to him, which I like. And I feel like if you get him in this offense, it could be fun. Could be fun, like 4th round guy, 5th round guy, something like that. So what I'm going to do here, actually, in the second round is go to this edge area. And there is a guy on this board, on this area that I'm looking at, and I think, there is a player that he played with that is exactly like he is. That got drafted very, very early. This dude, Romello Height, I don't know why he's like, if he's here in the second round, you have to sprint to the thingamabob and get this guy. I mean, he's really good, man. This guy is really good at football. He is older, which is so annoying that he's going to be 25 when he gets to the league, which does kind of like not turn me off, but it does make me be like, I like this Nadam Tucker actually a lot. Nadam Tucker's really good. I watched him in the Senior Bowl, I think. He is a fun watch. He's athletic. He's got some power to him. But he hasn't played. The only issue is he hasn't played since he was a redshirt senior. So this is his 5th year, and he finally got playing time. Of course, he got 14 sacks. But that does kind of scare me a little bit, is that he only played 1 game last year. 8 games the year before, and it looks like I didn't know if he got hurt or not. It looks like he might have got hurt, but I'm not too sure. But that's the only thing that's kind of throwing me off with him, that maybe if he's there later. This Hutchins, I like him. Caden Curry, I like him. Those guys, obviously not for the second round, but I'm just kind of saying I do like these types of dudes. Um, Joshua Josephs, I like. He's just a little too small. And I don't like to see a lack of productivity. I personally don't like to see a lack of productivity because we've seen guys, especially the two guys out of A&M last year, they didn't have that great of productivity, and they're not gonna. If you're not productive, and this is why I don't like certain dudes like TJ Parker. And no offense, TJ Parker, but like if you don't have productivity in college, which I get that he played in a different scheme, I don't care. You're in college. You're supposed to be, if you're a first round pick, you're supposed to be an explosive elite athlete. And if you're not producing at at a high level, at not the highest level at college, it just is it's a huge red flag for me. It's a giant red flag for me, especially at the edge position where really scheme. I don't mean to say scheme doesn't matter, but scheme doesn't matter as much. Um, Danny Dennis Sutton, I keep trying to really like this guy, and let me just say, if we did get him, I wouldn't be like pissed, but I don't think he plays with the grit that I would hope. That I every time I click on the game, I'm like, I'm just hoping he's like elite, and then I see him and I'm like, it just seems like he doesn't play with like tenacity and eagerness, and like it just doesn't seem like he plays how I want that type of guy to play. Like a defensive guy on the line. It's just is like, bro, just come on, man. Now, this is I don't know if Eli Stowers is dropping to this area. I don't think he would. I think he's gone by year. So I'm gonna respect, like, I'm gonna look, if he is here, we should take, if he's here, if Eli Stowers is here at this point in the draft, we should take him immediately. I just don't believe he will, and I'm not going to take him here because I just don't think that's genuine. I don't think that that's what's going to happen. Just don't see it. I really just don't see that, him falling. So I'm not going to take him. And it's not because I don't like him. I love this player for what he can be, not for the tight end. I know I said I like tight ends being blah, 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 but in the second round with that, if he drops, we should pick him. But we need an edge. We need an edge, and we need a tackle. I know I've been sitting on this for a while, but I just kind of want to go through my thought process of what I kind of think the Patriots should do here, what they should look at. And we need a like edge bender, and we need a great tackle. And I think the position for tackle, I think you pick an edge here and you kind of get this Brian Parker. That's kind of a hint at what I'm thinking for this next thing. But Romello Height, I say you don't really care about the age, honestly, because realistically he's 25 when we draft him, and at the end of his 4 or 5 years on the contract, he'll be 29 ish, give or take. I don't know when his dang birthday is or whatever, but it's not going to be like we draft. It's going to be kind of like the Hawkins signing where it's like you get him, he's effective, he can fill in, he could be that pass rushing guy. We have Draymond Jones, we have Elijah Ponder coming in, hopefully Harold Landry. Hopefully we have these guys, and when we need a guy to turn up on the edge, we have that young guy that can fill in spot roles and be able to produce. We can't think like, oh, the draft is going to be that position that guys are just going to soar and every single player is going to be a huge hit and a huge blah, blah. I don't think every player is like that. I just don't. Kerryon Crawford, I wouldn't be upset. Like these two dudes, I don't like these two guys. Honestly, I don't like Joshua Josephs or Danny for us, for the Patriots defense. I don't love these two guys. I would say Romello Height or Kerryon Crawford Crawford is, I think, 22. Yeah, 22 years old. If I'm the Patriots and I'm sitting here and I'm on the clock, I'm either trading down, maybe trying to trade up to. Obviously, we can't do that now and whatever. I'm gonna say Romello Height is my guy in this spot because I think, like I said, you get him for that edge rushing, spot rushing as a rookie. You get him in there. You have him on the edge. You have him play like, let's say, 20 snaps a game to start off the 10, 15 snaps to 20 snaps to start off the year, and in like passing down situations, let Harold Landry kind of breathe. Sometimes you swap them out with each other. It's kind of like that same whatever. Romello can get the edge. I think he could be a really good player. He has great bend to him. He has 42 hurries and 9 sacks, 11 quarterback hits in 350 pass snaps. I mean, that's just really good. I think it's worth it to go for a guy that's a little bit older. And it doesn't matter. Receiver, if Brazel's there, that'd be cool. Like if we didn't pick whatever Brazel, that's where I would maybe take a shot at him if he's still there. I know I said he might not, blah 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 blah, but it doesn't matter. So this is also this would be a fun area for Bryce Lance. Maybe trade down a little bit, trade back, and then get that Bryce Lance area. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So this is where I would go look at these tackles, and I would either say Markel Bell. You say, hey Markel, this is where the conversations are good, and we have a really good connection with Miami, and you say, can you play right tackle in your pro day? Can you swap to your right and see how effective you are? Let's see how you move. Let's put on the blah blah blah. Let's see how you work. If he works well, and you like how he moves on the right side, which is different, it's like it's a lot more. It's a lot different than people think. Like moving from the left to the right, and it's their power hand. Their wide hand. Their punching style is different. Their drop steps are different. Their pass sets are different. I mean, so it is a lot different. But if you could get a guy like Markel Bell that's huge, and being able to be that right side for Drake, that would be fun. But where I'm leaning a little bit more, I'm just going to kind of click. Not this guy. Oh, he plays a little bit of center. That's interesting. That is very interesting. See, if we have Bill Belichick, that guy's being picked in the second round because he played center and also tackle. Let's just be real. I love Belichick. I love for what he did, but we all know what's going on now, and it's like, ooh, I just clicked on him. Isaiah World, he stinks, right? Yeah, he stunk. No offense, Isaiah, if you're watching this. I like Wagner too. Like Wagner might be a fun to let this. I would say, okay, sorry, I just shook the thing. In my opinion, my honest opinion, I think Wagner goes higher. I think Wagner goes a lot higher. But I'm gonna say for us, if you're like sitting here and it's like I keep drafting tackles and it's so annoying and it's like, ugh. But I was gonna say, blah, blah, blah. This would be Zach Wheatley would be a really fun pick in this area because of what we have. We have Byard. There's just a lot of good players, like not great players, but this Stroman. I like Stroman. I think he has decent size too, 6'1", 201. Yeah, I like Stroman. Bud Clark, I think he played in the Senior Bowl a little bit, and he looked pretty good. But this might be an area where they pull the trigger on maybe a Zach Wheatley. Could be. This could be area tight end. Nah, it's not going to be tight end area. But let's just, this is like my most realistic, not most realistic, but this is a realistic, I would be very happy with this pick. Brian Parker, I do really like Brian Parker. 6'5", 305. He's a little bit on the smaller side, but it's like, I don't know. I think Amal Wagner is a really good player. Emil Wagner. You can't go wrong honestly, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with a Notre Dame tackle. And I know this is crazy, and I know it looks ridiculous with what this is, but there's a lot of players that I don't think PFF. I think PFF really just ranks because of their ranking, and I don't think they take into account how like team success or player success or things like that. Because 4 sacks, 80 overall grade, and he's ranked 114th. But then you have a guy like Amal Wagner who has 3 sacks his entire career and 68 grade. Like that, I just don't see a 68 grade when I watch Notre Dame, and I've watched them a lot this year. Um, just because they have so many decent players, so many good players. Rucci might be fun too. I did watch them. He's huge, obviously. So this could be an area. I do like the depth in tackle. Like the secondary depth in tackle is a lot of fun. So maybe you even say, hey, how savage would it be if the Patriots double dip on a receiver? That would be crazy. Bryce Botcher, I really like. You know what? I think Bryce Botcher is the guy. Actually, I think Bryce Botcher is the guy because my sleeper pick is Jeff Caldwell. That's my sleeper pick. Hopefully we get him in like the 10th round. Oh, I know there's 7. But we're going Bryce Botcher for this last pick. I know Caleb Elam Orr is picking up a lot of steam. Might be better. Everything is so. Red Murdoch is a lot of fun. Bryce Botcher is a good player. Caleb Elam Orr is a really good player. I like Bryce Botcher though, personally. Like I think he does a lot of good things. They're very similar. What do you guys think? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors. Keep scissors. What the hell, man? If this was me, I would probably go with the Oregon guy. Personally. And I know, and then the next round I would go with. Now, if they like Markel Bell, if they think he can switch, they would go right with him. But we keep doing I keep talking about tackles and stuff, and like Snorefest. Like safety would be a lot of fun too if they just went and got Zach Wheatley. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think Zach Wheatley would be the pick right here. You go Zach Wheatley in the 3rd. He's a really good player. He's rangy. He can come up, make hits. He can play really good football. I really like who he is, like as a player. And yeah, I think this would be a really fun thing. It's all circumstantial, of course, like every other draft and every other thing. It's really tough to say like what they're going to do because you don't know these interviews and everything, how the interview process goes. But with what we've built as a team in free agency and needing that top receiver, which could be Denzel Boston there, that would be a lot of fun. And then the tackle position does get kind of clumped together, and I think that's why the ranking is so low for a lot of guys, is because there's so much depth at tackle. Like once it gets past a certain thing, they're like all pretty similar players. It just matters like who fits in what spot. So I think that could be interesting to see where that fits. Linebacker, there's a lot of linebackers left as we saw, so I think that would be kind of silly to take one of those guys early. Maybe even double dip on edge if we had to. If we went earlier on like a Zion Young, and you could get that Romello, you could go like that double dip action. I know the Falcons did that last year. They did in the 1st round, which was interesting. But it's all dependent on what's on the board, and sometimes it's the way it falls. And if you can move up, move down, a lot of things would be different. But I would be okay with Denzel Boston, Romello Height, and Zach Wheatley being their first 3 picks and being able to have a skill position, have an edge rusher, and then have a safety. And that tackle position is a developmental tackle who, let's just say, next year, like we get a developmental tackle, Morgan Moses does well this year, and we can be able to still get a tackle next year, hopefully at 32, and be in that same position that we are this year. Never know. Like that could be a very good possibility. And I do know they like some of their guys that are in the building. Bryant, right tackle, we got in like the 6th, 7th round. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk about some free agency stuff. I wanted to do a quick mock draft after the free agency. Monday we will be doing a full like maybe 5 or 6 round mock draft, and I'll be a little bit more. I can maybe pick for exactly needs, or I can pick for things like that. That won't be, maybe it's like not as real. I do want to do realistic, but you don't draft for the need of the team. You draft for like the best available for like a spot that you can use. So that's kind of what I did here with these guys. But maybe we'll do exactly like, okay, we need these guys, so let's fill these holes first, and then we'll try to fill in the gaps. Or we'll see. I like drafting like this, where I just kind of pick whatever and see what falls in the draft and see what happens. But that's all right.